everybody. Women Crushing It Wednesday on In the Ring with Christine. I got my girls here, Esmeralda and Tracy. So let's
Mm-hmm.
introduce ourselves and tell everybody if it's their first time who we are and what we do. Esmeralda, talk to us.
I go first. Hi, I'm Esmeralda. I'm a photographer, for boxing photographer. I'm Fotógrafa de la Gente. And you find me on Twitter as me Ferraro. Always when there's fights.
Tracy, what's up, girl? Tell everybody who you are and what you do.
Okay, hey, it's me, Boxer Girl from Chicago. And I am currently just doing reporting on boxing. I used to work with fighters, but I've taken a break from it. So here I am.
Absolutely.
And I'm Boxer Girl on social media. Boxer Girl
Everywhere.
1970.
Yeah, and these women know what the hell they're talking about. Let me tell you. We're missing two of our crew tonight. They had other things that they needed to do, but that's okay. The show will go on, and they will join us next week, most definitely. Hey, ladies, we had a weekend of boxing. Okay.
Yes, we did.
So let's first talk about because I did not get to see Josh Franco's fight. Did any of y'all get to watch that? And I love Josh Franco. I love him. Okay, we're gonna talk about it. I love Josh Franco. I love his brother Bam. But I was at the Vergil Ortiz fight, so obviously I couldn't watch anything else.
So jealous.
So am I.
Well, let's talk about that. Let's talk about the Vergil Ortiz fight. First, let's hear your thoughts, Tracy. What did you think about that fight?
The Vergil Ortiz fight.
Did you get to backtrack and watch it later?
No, I watched it actually live.
Live? Okay, good.
So I had multiple TVs going on.
Oh, you're good.
So I'm one of those. So I was watching. Oh my goodness. It was a fantastic fight. I thought it was fantastic. Great movement, everything about him, and I don't want to, people were like, well, he wasn't that good. I'm like, actually, he kind of was. He was very good, very strong. I didn't, I've seen him fight before, but for a thinner man, that all that power is still there. And so
Absolutely.
I'm like, all I kept thinking about was like, man, he's got the potential to go up and wait and up and wait. It was crazy. And I did not expect Mean Machine to go down that many times. That was epic.
Because, Mean Machine is a real opponent. Like, he's a real deal. Like whenever he fought Bud, people were like, "Oh, you're fighting Mean Machine. He's not really there." No, he's a threat. He's a threat. He's somebody that you cannot sleep over. You cannot underestimate. Whoever you put him in front of, he's gonna go. And he also hides when he gets hurt. So let me ask you this. So whenever Vergil slipped, did you think that was a slip, or did you think that was a knockdown?
I thought it was a slip.
Okay. Esme, talk to me, girl. What'd you think about that? Did you think it was a slip or a knockdown?
Well, first, my heart dropped.
Christine,
I was like, oh. But then they did the replay, and at first I was like, holy crap, was it from a punch? And then when I looked at it again, I feel like it was from a punch. Like, it might have not been a hard punch, but I think his foot movement was a little off, or he was positioned correctly, and that's maybe where it came from. But so it was kind of a little bit of mixture of both.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I mean, I love replays because if you think you see something and then you replay, you're like, oh, I did see what I thought I saw, or I didn't. Same thing, my opinion, happened with Bud and Vergil, both. Their foot placement was probably not secure. They get hit with a good shot because Mean Machine is strong.
Right.
He puts everything into it, and it could have been an 8 count. It could have been, same with Bud, but it was called a slip, which is fine. And I mean, I'm not mad at that. The thing that I personally loved was You saw how he went back in the corner, and his dad has been with him like through his whole career, you know, and we know Robert was not there. And a lot of people were worried about that. Even myself, I was like, you know what? Is he going to perform the same? Is he going to get the same instruction? His dad and Hector Beltran, they did a great job. They told him to relax, use his jab, and they were smart. And then there was one point in the fight, I don't know if y'all saw this, where he looks back at the corner like, I got this, I got this. And then he just went in there and he dug deep and he did it. What are some of your thoughts about that, Esme? What do you think that when he sat down, he was thinking or was told?
So going into like when everyone starts saying, you know, Garcia's not going to be there, I think Vergil's the type of fighter that he's just so disciplined and he knows what to do. He doesn't need Robert Garcia with him all the time, like, because he knows what to do. He already knows himself and he knows what he has to do to get it done. So I was like, he's going to perform either way. It's not going to affect him that he's not there. But when every round that I saw him in his corner, he looked mentally fine and he looked just confident. And I was like, that's kind of scary because there's something inside of him that's going to be coming out, and there's something inside of him that's slowly going to like show throughout the fight, and he's going to go for, you know, something, a KO or a TKO. And sure enough, he did. But it was, he's a great fighter, and I think
Absolutely.
he progresses every fight. So
absolutely, you know, no, and I have to make a point with what you said because you're absolutely right. So it's almost like he's so talented and he knows what to do, that muscle memory, the years of boxing, and then the natural talent, that it doesn't take anything away from a trainer. It doesn't take anything away from a corner, but it just shows the talent that this kid has. Years ago, I said the same thing about another world champ that all you had to do pretty much was put water in his corner and give him a towel, because he was so talented and he knew how to adjust and what to do. And that trainer of that person was so offended that he even went to Facebook and like blasted me. And the reason why I bring that up is because we're not taking anything away from a trainer. The trainer adds, like a chef will add whatever ingredients it needs to make a dish even greater than what it is. And that's what we're saying, that these kids are so talented that they don't need much. And if they had to do it on their own, like he had to do that night, they're going to get the job done. And he certainly did. Would y'all agree with that?
Amen. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Even in the amateurs and pros, there's the fighters that, you know, the talent's not there from birth, but they just work on it so much. They work on it so much that, you know, they show it. But then there's the ones like Vergil and other fighters that it's just, they're born with this gift. And it's like, you add the great coach and you have the great fighter, and it's just like this perfect match. And with his dad there, who knows him and has been with him his whole life, like, of course he's still going to perform as great.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I don't have my bifocals on, but thank you so much, Devin Johnson, for that shout out. I have
some.
Okay, you have some comments. Yes. What's
comments in the chat YouTube here? Okay, so we've got Nika's in the house.
Nika,
hey,
our girl.
We've got Hold, Lee Groves, Nando Davis, and I don't know how to scroll upwards. Yeah, I think I got it. Knowledge is power. So everyone, thanks for coming in. Lee said, let me make sure I'm like in this camera here. I can't even say it. So Mean Machine was the perfect acid test for Ortiz at the perfect time. He was hurt a few times, but he responded with something better each time. This will be, the future. Oh my God.
No, I totally agree.
Yeah, this will be. I don't know. Yeah. No, absolutely. So I was just.
I think Mean Machine was the perfect opponent for him at this time. He was still dangerous. Vergil had to dig deep, and without his head trainer, and he did that. He showed us something that many were wondering if he had or not. You know,
Absolutely. Absolutely agree. I don't think that Garcia not being there in his corner really had any impact on him whatsoever because, like you said, he is extremely disciplined. He knows what to do. That's what, someone had asked, I think we were on HCP, and nah, I think didn't need Garcia at all. So,
yeah, absolutely.
and
So,
26 Sports is in the house as well.
26 Sports, what up? Our guy, definitely. Hello. Thank you for tuning in. But so I have a question. So a lot of people now are throwing around the idea of Vergil versus Bud. I want to know both of y'all's opinions on that. Why he should, why he shouldn't, who does it benefit, who does it not benefit? Esmeralda, we'll go with you first.
You know, I think it was not this last fight, but the one before it where Virgil said, throw me in there with anybody. He's like, I don't care if I lose. He's like, win or lose. He's like, I just want to fight the best of the best, and I want the experience. And I would like to see him with Bud, because I think it's just, again, for his experience and for his age, it's two different people from, but it would be a good fight because neither one of them wants to lose. So I think it would be some really, really good stuff going on there.
Well, let me ask you this, and I'll ask Tracy next. So, who would it benefit more? Would it benefit Vergil or Bud if they saw each other in the very near future? Who do you think would benefit more?
I think Virgil, just because of the experience that Bud has, and the years he's already got in, I think it would benefit him more. And like, again, win or lose, he'd be beneficial. It'd be a beneficial outcome for him. Period.
Yeah, I gotta agree. Tracy, what say you about that? Should he face Bud soon? And if he did, who is it going to benefit?
I really don't think he should fight Crawford yet. I can't say he's not ready. I just don't know. I would rather see him grow a little bit more and get a little bit more ring knowledge. And he seems to be just fine. But I've seen, a few little things, and that, yeah, he needs to probably work on. And I just don't think that he's ready for Crawford yet. That's just my opinion. I would rather see him fight maybe like a few more, 5 more, maybe before he gets to Crawford. But by that time, I don't know if Crawford's going to be ready or willing or able.
Right.
But if we get in a couple years, I think that would be a great fight between the two of them. And I think that who would benefit from it, they would both benefit from it because they're both strong opponents. So it would benefit Ortiz because Crawford's a strong opponent, and it would benefit Crawford because Ortiz is a strong opponent. So the two of them together, it just would benefit the both of them. It would be a great fight, to be honest. I'd rather see that than see I can't even think of anyone else. But right now, I think a few more fights and then Crawford would be excellent.
See,
Yeah.
It's not that he's ready now. I don't think so, but I like the fact that he's willing to risk his record. And sometimes you have to learn from your experience. Like when Canelo fought Floyd, he learned from that loss, and it only made him so much greater. And he knew what he had to do. And sometimes all the sparring in the world and all the training is not going to get you the experience in the ring, and you have to lose, or you have to see yourself in an actual fight to be like, damn, this is what I need to work on. But I think either now or in the future.
That's a great point. Yeah, that's a great point.
And then, so the way I look at it, if I'm Ortiz, I would want to fight Crawford because, like you said, when Canelo, fought Mayweather, it was a learning experience. It made him grow. Ever since then, it was like, he did his thing. But if I'm Bud, see, Ortiz needs Bud's belt. He needs Ugas's belt. And he needs both of Errol's belts. So it's like, how does that benefit Bud? It doesn't. It's almost like giving him a pity fight. you know, and there's no need for Bud to fight him at all. Ortiz needs him right now more than Bud needs him. So who knows? Who knows in the future? You know, yeah. But then again, in the future, Bud's going to be older. He's still going to be dangerous, but he'll be older. But for right now, like Bud doesn't need him. Bud doesn't need to fight Ortiz, you know. But let's see what happens. I mean, boxing's crazy. We've seen a lot of crazy stuff. I mean, we just thought this weekend we were going to see Errol Spence and Pac-Man,
Mm-hmm.
and then we got this horrible news. Esme, when you heard about the news about Errol Spence, what was your first thought?
My first thought was that's the end of his. This is the end of his career. There's just no way that whether it's torn, detached, whatever the case is, like it's just not healthy for you to go back in there and fight. Because if I was the fighter you're fighting, I'm probably gonna aim towards your eyes just because I want to win the fight.
Absolutely,
so
that's what everybody's gonna do.
Dangerous situation, and I was like, and it didn't sound as intriguing to me anymore.
Yeah, yeah.
And I love Pacquiao, but I was like,
yeah,
I really wanted to see Errol Spence.
Absolutely. Tracy, what were your thoughts when you heard the news?
I said, oh, shit. I'm like, shit. Because I know that that is not a good thing at all. And it's could be a career-ending injury, you know, depending on, you know, because at first they were saying that it was just a tear.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, like, and then like more facts started coming in, like even just, was it today or yesterday, saying that it was a complete detachment. I was like, oh no. Yeah. I was like, oh no, that's not good. So I really don't know what is going to happen with him. I have no clue if he's going to be able to fight again.
Yeah.
And that is concerning, considering that, you know, he was, you know, an Olympic fighter, and just one bad thing can just change your career. And that is really important for a lot of fighters to keep in mind. It just takes one moment, 1 second, one instant, and it could be over. So
that's true. I'm going to backtrack a little bit because we've got some comments on YouTube. So 26 Sports says, what up, ladies? And Ortiz is ready for the top. Ortiz and Boots in the future. I actually posted that. I was wondering, like, has everybody forgot about Boots? Like, what about that matchup? Who wins that? Who does that? So if y'all have to compare the two and predict the outcome and the winner, who would y'all get on that fight?
Didn't Boots move up? He moved up in weight though, so he's not he moved up.
And possibly Ortiz could possibly move up in the near future.
Absolutely.
Absolutely
he can.
I don't like fantasy matchups, but it's more realistic than fantasy. So if Ortiz and Boots had to face each other, who wins and why? Esme, you want to go first?
Well, Tracy, we're both still thinking. Honestly,
I'm still thinking.
I mean, my heart obviously says Vergil, and I really do feel like if he fights him and he's on the path he is now, which every fight you see some growth, and every fight you see like a bigger Vergil and more powerful, I do think he could win. He's an intelligent fighter, and I like that about him, is that he's very strategic, and so he's what's it called? Everything he does is like he waits for the timing. He's so precise. It's like, okay, he's just
calculated.
He's like the Matrix. He sees everything going on in the fight, and he does it, and you're just like, holy crap! Like he just did what I thought he should do, and then he's like doing it in the ring, which is crazy.
But you're like, do this. Oh wait, he did it. Oh, okay. Yeah, he hears me.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm coaching him.
Tracy, what do you think? Boots or Vergil?
Boots. I have to go with Boots. I just think he's stronger as a fighter right now. in this moment. So Vergil has room for growth. I mean, they both. I just think Ennis would get this one. I really do. If they were to face right now, I would take Boots 100%.
Okay, I like that. 50-50. So I'm going to be the
Mm-hmm.
50-50 breaker. Okay, tiebreaker. So Boots, in my eyes, is a very good boxer. He's a very good boxer. He has great movement. He calculates his punches and everything. Ortiz is a boxer puncher. So I believe that if they had to face each other right now, Ortiz would find a way to start touching that body early, with his feints, with his jabs, whatever. And it would be very tight, but he would get the win only because, like I said, I see Boots as more of a boxer than a puncher, and Ortiz can do both. But maybe I'm wrong. And if I'm wrong, I'm not mad because they're both very talented.
Mm-hmm.
So either way,
Absolutely.
I'm happy with it. You know?
Tracy, we can bet on it.
$1.
Okay.
We can bet $1. Only $1 here, guys. So HLD said no babysitting when it comes to Ortiz. And he also says Ortiz is ready for Crawford or Spence. You know what? I bet he is ready for them. They've got something that he wants. They've got those belts. So absolutely, he's going to say, yeah, I'm ready. Let's go. But you have to think about the champs. Are they willing to risk that? He is too risky. He is too much of a threat for them to say, yeah, let's go ahead and put it on the line. And what do they gain? You know, Ortiz has everything to gain right now. The cards are all in his favor, win or lose.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, you know, it is what it is.
See, with Pacquiao and Spence, what I thought was kind of happening was like, you know, because Pac is a fan of Spence. He's been, you know, watching him for a while, and he likes him. He's always supportive of him. So what I thought was like, what if this is Manny kind of passing down the torch type deal, you know? And if he loses, it's an amazing moment for Spence, and if he wins, it's still going to be a great moment for Spence. But so that's what I kept thinking. I was like, maybe after this, he's gonna, you know, shortly say his retirement. And so I was
and we would
excited
much
about
rather. And I'm sorry, but we'd much rather have that with Spence.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. I really thought this would be his swan song.
And then the next one, would, you know, Spence, of course, you know, to be the next
passing the torch,
right? And not taking anything away from Ugas, but that's just the fight we wanted to see. And so what's going to happen in that fight? Y'all tell me what y'all think is going to happen in that fight.
Manny's going to win.
Okay. See, I feel the same thing. I mean,
he's just too fast. He's just too skilled. He can read you. There's just, I mean, and Ugas is a great fighter.
He is. He's a great boxer. He really is.
Oh yeah, he's a strong guy. And I just watched the replay of him and Porter, which I thought that Ugas won, but you know that's just me.
Yeah, that was a good fight.
Yeah, it was. So Manny is just, he's just unstoppable. Well, except Marquez found a way.
Talk about that.
I know that was the worst moment in boxing. I really thought he was possibly dead. I started sobbing like a baby. No, he can't. No more. Get up.
I know.
Oh my God, it was horrible. But I just think that Manny in general is he's just too much. He's just too much. And I think that it is unfortunate what happened to Spence, because I really felt like, as we said, and I had said before as well, I really thought that he was passing the torch down.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then going to, you know, back to the Philippines and become president and all that stuff.
Right.
It's just, so I really don't know if Manny is going to want to end his career with a fight. No offense to you guys at all, but a fight against you guys. I almost think that Manny will fight again. But as far as what's going to happen on Saturday, I definitely have Pacquiao winning.
Well, see, it can go both ways. I mean, Ugas can really be like, F everybody and everyone's disappointed because it's me instead of Spence. But, I'm really going to show them. I'm really
Right.
going to go in there and I'm going to do what nobody's done to Manny or whatnot. Or he can just be maybe mentally affected by the fact that everyone feels like it's a downer now because he's the replacement. He's the second place. And
Right.
Yeah.
he
yeah.
might not perform. And like Tracy said, everyone's going to be like, oh, And Pacquiao can't retire after that. He has to do another one to see, leave off
Yeah.
on a good note.
I
Pacquiao,
agree.
listen to us, okay, Pacquiao? Please, okay?
Yeah, and the thing is Ugas is like, you know what, I'm gonna box the shit out of him. He could hurt me if he gets close and whatever. He's got great foot movement, everything, but I'm gonna box the shit out of him. But really, Pacquiao is not the one Ugas wants either. He said before he retires, before Errol Spence retires, that's who he wants. That's his dream matchup.
Yeah.
So he's going to coast through, do what he's got to do, try to win to prove us all wrong that this is going to be a sleeper. But he still is looking ahead and he wants Errol Spence. 26
and let's say
Sports
there was
says,
he loses, Pacquiao loses, and they're like, oh, let's make a second fight.
Oh, yeah.
It's just, it's not interesting.
No, it's not. And I'm sorry, Ugas. Like, I mean, you've earned your stripes. You're a great boxer. You're not a puncher. We know you can't really maybe take shots, but we give you your respect. But yes, we were really fixated. It's like, you know what? Your man says, I'm going to take you to a steak dinner, girl. And then you're like, oh, shit. I only have enough for Taco Bell. So
Yo
what?
quiero Taco Bell.
Taco
Still
Bell's
gotta
good.
eat, but
it's good, but it's not a steak dinner. Just saying.
Okay? Exactly. Yeah,
but taking nothing away. Let me read
people
some
got
of
their
these
refunds.
Yeah, that's true. They did. So 26 Sports says right now Boots wins, but it's close. And in a few years, maybe it's closer. Nando says, let me see. Tio versus Ortiz will happen before the Boots fight. You think so? Okay, that's interesting. I would never think that or say that, but maybe you have your reasons and I'm interested.
Oh, I got some good stuff here.
Yes. And then Remy says Ortiz has had tougher opponents lately and Christine wins. Yeah, Christine wins. Yes. Let me see.
So you're reading the YouTubes then, Christine?
I mean, kind of. I'm trying to.
Okay.
But please take over because what does Lee Grove says?
Okay.
40 years ago, please.
Okay. First, salute to 26 Sports, Remy. Salute to Maestro, part of the HCP, is in the house. D-Style was in the house. I don't know if he's still here. Salute to Run PMC.
Absolutely.
Okay. So Lee, the smartest man on earth, said 40 years ago. Okay, let me turn this way. 40 years ago, Muhammad Ali had such a magical aura that many thought he could beat a Prime Holmes after 2 years away. Now that same aura surrounds Pac, who many think will win after 2 years away. Man, he has a way with putting work. He has a way.
Yeah,
he has a way.
I love that.
Mm-hmm. Yep, he has a way.
I mean, I've got my dollar, on Manny. I will say it's $1 because I did plan on going to Vegas, whenever he was gonna fight Errol. I already had a place to stay. I was just I had to buy my airline tickets. I was ready, and I was gonna see Esmeralda and her husband, and we were gonna do it up. But after I heard that it wasn't, I was just like, womp womp. Sorry.
Yeah.
But it is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, my whole family was going. My mom, my brothers, my kids. We were all going. We were gonna live it up. But
is the rest
I definitely
undercard good?
Wanted.
Is what?
The rest of the undercard?
Girl, I don't even know. Like before that, I didn't even. That's sad, but I wasn't even worried about the undercard. It was like whoever.
I didn't either. I have no clue who's on that.
Does anybody know who's on the undercard?
Does anybody out there?
See, I wasn't a Manny fan. until if Morales retires.
Oh, you weren't a what?
I wasn't a Pacquiao fan until Eric retired,
Oh,
so
yeah.
I have
Oh
to keep
gosh,
my
I
loyalty
have
to
been a
him, and
diehard since day one.
but he's always been
Yeah.
impressive. But
Yeah, absolutely. No, I got you. I totally got you. So let's talk about this. Let's go back to the Errol Spence situation. Tracy, do you think that Errol Spence is done? Or do you think that he's going to take a year off, 6 months, a year, whatever, and he's going to come back? What do you think?
It depends on what the real truth is on his injury. What is really going on with his eye? Is it a full detachment? You know, what is going on? So that is, I mean, that has to be taken into account. So with that, I don't know. I really don't know. But if there's room for healing, he definitely should take the time. I actually thought it was rather early for him to fight after his accident. But he,
First
he did
time,
well. Yeah. He did well. So, something in there, something happened in there, and I don't know how the detachment happened. If it's complete, I don't know, because you see one story, you see another, you see this, you see that, and okay, but what is really going on? And it's like, until Errol comes out and says, "Listen, this is what is going on." It's just really hard to say what he should, could do,
right?
what he can't do. Is he done?
Yeah.
What I want to know is what happened. Is that because this could end your career? And
Absolutely.
so I don't know.
And I'm
I mean,
not
you
going
need
to
your
even
eyes.
apologize that we're women and we jump all over the place, because that's what we do, and we're about to do it again. So I'm just going to say real quick that Run PMC said that Victor Ortiz and Robert Guerrero, I guess they're on the undercard.
Oh, okay.
Woo! Okay.
Those two guys.
I remember reading about that.
Okay.
Yeah,
we'll get back to those later. Okay, Esmeralda. So what do you think about Errol Spence? Is this the end? Is he going to come back? Like, what do you think in your experience? Because, we've seen this shit before.
So it's not a matter of what happened. It's a matter of Errol Spence acknowledging, accepting what's about to come. Because, like, I think Tracy had mentioned before in conversation on Abner Mares, as much as Abner says, like, oh, I'm going to be back, I'm going to fight, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, he hasn't yet. And he knows the extent of his injury, and he knows whether he's dealt with the reality of he's going to be able to fight again or he's not. He knows that. But, he tells everybody, of course, he still wants to fight. And I think Errol Spence is at a point where he needs to face reality. Like, okay, am I going to fight moving forward, or do I need to find something else within boxing to keep myself involved in the sport? Because that's the harder part than knowing what your injury is what's going to come of it.
And I've known boxers that have had to retire from the same detached retina injury, and so that worries me. I'm really praying. D-Style says, I love the fight. I'm not sure what fight he's talking about, but we'll get back to that. But
Guerrero, the ghost.
Guerrero. Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, if you want to go back in time, that would have been a great fight.
If I could.
I'm going for Guerrero then. But I would just say that I'm praying to God for a miracle, because I love Errol. He's a great warrior. He's one of the greats. And I want to see more of him. I don't want
much more left.
His legacy to end because of this. The thing is that we all make mistakes. We all make these decisions that sometimes can affect the rest of our lives. But I'm hoping that this is not one of those decisions that he made whenever he got in his wreck that are going to end his whole career. Because I believe personally that this is not a new injury, that it had to do with the wreck. He's been sparring. He had a fight. But sometimes we overlook those things because he is a warrior. And if you ask him, how is he doing? He's going to say, I'm fine. There's nothing wrong. Nothing hurts. How many times have we faked it till we made it? And then it's like, for this fight, he had to get a full exam. And then here
Yeah.
we go.
But you know what? Let's say he
And-
does come back and he does keep fighting. He better 100% focus on blocking that fucking eye, because
Absolutely.
Yeah.
that's going to be everybody's go-to. So he needs to know exactly how to block it, how to move, and how to weave, how to
Absolutely.
slip those
Because would
punches.
we
Yeah.
all tell our guys to target the eye? We all would.
Absolutely.
I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah. D Styles going
No, he's
bananas.
pumped. Okay.
He's
all right.
going bananas in the chat. He said
He's
that.
pumped.
Yeah, he's pumped for Guerrero and Ortiz, but he said that Guerrero is calling out Pac after his win. Wait, is that a fact? Did he call him out?
I do have to say that Guerrero has gotten a bad decisions, bad rap. When he fought
Oh yeah, he has.
what's his name? Come on, somebody help me. When he fought with the loud dad. Oh my gosh, my mind.
Garcia,
is
Danny Garcia.
When he fought
Swift
Garcia, he won. He won.
The loud dad, that's all you had to say.
I was like, loud dad. He won.
The
He won. My opinion. He won. Okay, so I mean, he's better than what his record shows him to be. So I hope he wins. I don't know about him fighting Manny, but whatever, maybe.
No, D Styles gossiping. He said he didn't call him out, but he's
Oh,
gonna.
okay.
D
Okay,
Styles
he's going to.
is like the cheerleader right now and on YouTube for Guerrero right now.
Okay.
How is Ortiz though? I haven't seen or heard
Seen
of
him.
in so long. I didn't even know he was still training or fighting.
Who knew? Like really, who knew? I definitely
Yeah.
didn't know. And
So
I mean, do you really care to see him? I don't know. I mean, I'm speaking for myself. I'm like, but against
No.
Guerrero, okay, cool. That's cool. But after
Yeah.
this, I'm sorry.
not so much Ortiz. That Mayweather fight was just ridiculous with
oh
him.
my
that
God.
ended the career.
Yeah. Let's see. We got Lee said this should serve as yet another cautionary tale. Make the big fights when you can.
Oh,
Because
absolutely.
you never know when something will happen to take it away.
Absolutely, 100%.
Perfectly said. Perfectly said.
Absolutely.
But see, that's why whether the fighter or whatever the manager corner, whether they think they're ready or not, throw the fight anyway, because you might not ever get the chance to fight Manny Pacquiao. You might not ever get the chance to fight, so and so. And it's like, I'd rather have the loss to Manny Pacquiao than the perfect
big
record.
money, big clout time. Like that is who you want to fight.
Yeah.
What is D-Style saying?
D-Style said Uncle Ruben gonna pull up on you, Christine.
Bring it. I'm taller than him. And I probably weigh more than him.
Oh my God, that's funny.
Let's go. Let's go.
If Robert Guerrero can't be beat, broken up for years, Ortiz will retire him immediately. That's Ronald Finkley said that. So.
Okay, so let's go. So we have a guest coming on in about 15 minutes. Mykal Fox. I personally did not see the fight. I was in Tokyo, and like I told y'all before, all my news came from Twitter. Like, I'm not even lying. And so, you can't always trust Twitter, but
right, exactly.
Right, but you know how it is on Twitter world. And so that's where I got all my info. So Tracy, Esmeralda, did you see the fight with Mykal? And okay.
No, we down here in Mexico, we weren't able to see a lot of the fights, so we had to deal with what we were able to see and just focus on that. But I read so much on Twitter. I saw so many clips.
Yes.
I mean, it was very, very controversial.
Yes, very,
absolutely.
Very much so. So Tracy, but you did see the fight, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, so what was your take on the fight?
I had easily Fox winning easily, because it was I want to say the third round. Oh, I can't remember. That he nailed Maestre to the ground, and
from what I read, I think it was the second round that he went down. From
Okay.
what I read, but you have to like
Yeah.
tell me, you have to like confirm that. Okay.
Yeah, I can't remember. It was the second or the third. It was he just outboxed him. I mean, the entire fight. I just was like, something is wrong here. Something is absolutely wrong. Absolutely. And it turned out something was.
Yeah, so let's talk about that. So come to find out, after the fight, the scores were looked at, all the judges were looked at, and what came to pass? Like what did we dig up after that?
Wait,
So
fight number was this for Mykal?
Yeah, I was wondering about his
20 Fox's record is 22-3 with
Oh.
5 KOs.
okay,
Maestre
22-3
and 5 KOs.
Okay. 3 and
My
5.
Maestre is 4-0 with 3 KOs.
Oh wow. Okay.
The judges had scored, and they were all women. It was 114, 113, 115, 112. And the infamous Gloria was 117, 110.
Okay. Okay. So women.
So
I want to
they
say
gave
before
us-
we do anything else, I encourage everybody, all the parents, all the brothers and sisters, and amateurs and pros. I'm like, just study, become a judge, become a ref,
Absolutely.
become whatever, because we just need more people in the sport. Period. But
Absolutely.
That's it.
Absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah,
Especially,
learn what you're scoring. What are the scoring blows? You know, what makes a point? Like, what are the shots that count? You know, that's everybody needs to know that.
Yep.
Okay, so talk to us, Tracy, because you saw the fight.
Okay.
Rounds was
Well,
how many rounds did it go to?
it went to the end.
10 rounds or?
Did they go 10?
Yes.
10? Okay.
Yeah. So it went to the judges, and it was in favor of Maestre. And it was quite shocking.
So it was it unanimous?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. That would be yeah.
Really
Correct,
quick,
guys?
Lee Groves says it is exceedingly difficult these days to win a decision while backing up, because I think aggression, regardless of effectiveness, is the first tiebreaker in close rounds for many judges. And I see that all the time.
Yes.
Judges always pick like on the more aggressive fighter, whether one was more technical and looked beautiful, but they'll always kind of gear towards the aggressor or the one that looks a bit more aggressive.
Yeah, but that's not the way to score, you know?
No, it's not.
Lee,
No.
Lee, I totally agree
it.
with you. It's like, if you're backing up or whatever, if you're on the ropes or whatever, it's okay as long as you're still punching and the punches are effective. A lot of the judges feel like, and they're more old school, feel like if you're backing up or punching as you're pulling out, that you're losing because the other one is more aggressive. That doesn't mean anything. If you're not connecting, you don't have the bigger shots, it doesn't matter. I mean, we went through that in the Olympics, international, national fights, amateur level. We teach our kids to punch as they're pulling back or walking back.
Absolutely.
Because sometimes you just do. It is what it is. And it's the punches, the scoring blows, or what matter, you know? So
I do that on the heavy bag. I'll be hitting the heavy bag and
punch your way out,
because I was taught to punch as I'm scooting back.
Absolutely.
And I corner myself 100%.
Sometimes.
But I like it. I'm like, come at me, and I'm still punching.
Yeah, exactly. And they don't. They won't. I mean, they might faint and like act like they're going to come at you, but they're not going to. You know.
Yeah. I think that's an important thing for fighters is to learn how to fight going back as well.
Yeah.
And get them off you when they're in that hold. Get off when they're in that hold. I was yelling at Joshua Greer, like going, dude, get him off you and punch him while you're getting out of there. Oh,
those memes are hilarious.
Oh, I haven't even seen them. I got to catch up on everything. But so Tracy talked to us. Like I said, Esmeralda and I did not see the fight. All we saw was Twitter and comments. So talk to us. So was Mykal the aggressor? What was going on?
You know, it was both. It was an aggressive fight by both. Not as much, though. by Maestre. More was being landed, more power shots, in my opinion, were being landed by Fox. He was just, I mean, and then he went down, and that was huge. I mean, that was a straight,
Okay, so Fox went down.
it was a left. No, Maestre did.
Maestre did.
Via,
Okay,
yeah,
gotcha.
via a left to Maestre. It was beautiful. I was like, he's done, he's done. And it continued on and continued on. And there was pressure going on back and forth, obviously. But Fox was just the better fighter and landed more. He was just more aggressive.
Okay.
And so I had him winning clearly, which and it was wild because everyone had him winning. Usually on, you'll go on Twitter then afterwards and be like, oh, he didn't. Oh, everyone was like, he got robbed. He got robbed. This was the biggest robbery that we have seen in a long, long time.
And that's what I saw. That's what I saw. But I have a question, and maybe you can or cannot answer this, or somebody in the chat can maybe answer this. Okay, so it was unanimous. So all the women judges said that Fox did not win this fight. But there was one singled out for racism. Talk to me, enlighten me. What is that about?
The woman. Okay, I'm going to just tell you, this is what happened. So after the fight was over with, and there's a timeline. So this young man broke the story. This young man named Derek Jablonski was so upset about the call that he decided to go on to BoxRec and look up who the judges were. And so he looked up the judges, and he just happened to start with Gloria Martinez and looked up on her Twitter and found all these insane things. And he's like, how can this woman be a judge a fight accurately and honestly when she still thinks that Trump is president and all these other things that were said? And then I decided, I was like, oh my God, are you kidding me? Wow, that's insane. So I decided to go and dig deeper into her account because my association with a lot of people, and I hope no one take offense to this whatsoever. This is just my opinion.
Show,
this is my experience. I have found that usually if you've been a Trump follower, you have a tendency to be racist. I'm sorry. That's just how I feel. That's what I've seen. And we're all
entitled to say what our opinions are. So you're perfectly right in whatever you believe. Absolutely 100%.
So that made a light bulb go on. And that made me dig deeper into her account. When I dug deeper into her account, I was mortified at what I saw. Absolutely mortified. I could not believe what I was seeing. There were so many racist things on there. And it was, it came out that she had called Michelle Obama a monkey, and she had said that Black lives don't matter, and just so many other things, so many vicious things. It's just, I'm trying not to sob because it bothers me that it bothers me. It bothers me that much. So I decided, with this kid, Derek, I was like, that's it. I'm copying, pasting. I'm like screenshotting everything because I know that what's going to happen is once I start tweeting this out, it's going to catch attention and continue on. And next thing you know, her account's going to be deleted. So I decided to take the time and just screenshot everything that she had said, going back as far as I could. And then I started tweeting it. And I showed Derek, the young man, he's 23 years old, and showed him. And then when Mykal Fox saw it, he said that he had no chance when he stepped into that stadium. I forgot where it was. Into the fight. He had no chance. He was already plugged a loser because of the color of his skin. And he had DM'd me, and I was like,
So
this is not.
I'm gonna challenge you a little bit for the sake of argument. So absolutely, racism has no place here.
Right.
My family is Black, Mayan, white, Asian, all of it. Like Mexican, like there's no place here for racism. Racism is absolutely not tolerated. But I'm going to challenge you just a bit. This woman, obviously, with the things that she posted, showed that she was racist. The other women that were the judges, why did they score the fight the way that they did?
To be honest, I would not be surprised if there was a little bit of influence, a little bit of talk, like, hey, do this, do that, I'll give you this, do that kind of situation. Because there were two, I think it was two other women. And I don't know what fight they were watching that they scored it like they did. I really don't. And so it just seemed so calculated and so let's do this fight, let's give this to maestre, oh my gosh, maestre, let's give it to him. There were some issues with the gloves at the beginning of the fight.
I did hear that. What were the issues? I don't know.
I don't even know. I got so consumed
what it was
with the racist things that
whose gloves?
I don't even know.
Or both.
Maestre's gloves.
I did see that on Twitter too. And I love the fact that this is your passion, because we all have our passions. We all believe the same. We want the same, but we all have our different passions, and we have to totally execute and speak about them, because if we're all the same, then only one problem gets fixed. But if we're all different and we have our own passions, then the whole puzzle comes together. So I love this about you, Tracy. Like, and I didn't see the fight. I didn't even know who judged the fight. I didn't know what was going on with the gloves, so to even comment. And I have not yet seen the fight, but I will definitely watch the fight. All I know is, like in the Vergil Ortiz fight, the blows that are clear, that are hard shots, that hurt you, are the ones that count in professional boxing. In amateur boxing, in international and the Olympics, the points matter. It doesn't matter about the hard blows. It matters about the points. But in professional boxing, you need those hard blows. So I cannot wait to see the fight. I know that Maestre was dropped in the second round, and I cannot wait to watch it, because I want to see what it's about. And hopefully this weekend I'm going to be able to do that.
I have one question.
Thank you.
Maybe Tracy will know.
Hit the like button. Yes.
Is there a known plan for Maestre, as far as, like, is he set to fight somebody else, or are they trying to put him in a path also to where?
That's a good question.
The fight was already called as soon as it was announced, simply because they're like forming this pathway for him. Like, do you know of anything? Or I'm not too familiar with Maestre, so I
know he was an Olympian, but I don't know what his path is in the pro world.
I don't know. All I know is that they got this wrong, and it was just
lose the fight in the amateurs. They lose the fight as soon as the fight is announced. There's already a clear winner to some judges, because they're trying to have them on a pathway to whatever national,
right? Usually,
or wherever they're going. So sometimes that battle is, you've lost the battle that you didn't even know you were in already. And it sucks, but that's boxing. It just sucks sometimes.
Here's our guest right now.
Oh,
Hello there, Mykal Fox. How are you?
Hey everybody, how y'all doing?
Welcome,
We're
Michael.
doing well. We're doing well. We've been talking a little bit about your fight. Esmeralda and myself, I'm Christine, and Esmeralda, we have not yet gotten to see it. I'm sorry, I apologize. I was in Japan. She was in Mexico, so we couldn't get it. We're definitely going to watch it this weekend
seen so many
because
clips.
many clips. But
Yeah.
Tracy has enlightened us about this fight. So I just kind of want to get your take. So you had your fight, and what is your take on this fight as far as the judges' scores and the outcome?
Well, I mean, I think that any judge that judged it for him is blind or crazy or something. Um, I mean, I'm gonna say I felt I won that fight very, very comfortably. Like when the last judge said 117, 110, that I just knew that was a score in my favor. But um,
It turned out
judges
it
had a
wasn't.
yeah, it turned out it wasn't. The judges had a different outcome.
So I know that she was saying that all the judges had judged unanimously, and I know you had dropped your opponent in the second round. I know that she was saying that one of the, and I was getting all my information from Twitter. I'm just gonna be real honest with you. One of the judges was found to have some racist connotation on her Twitter account and so on and so forth. Do you think that there was some kind of coup or some kind of meeting beforehand that said, "Hey, this is what we're gonna do, and this is why"?
Um, I don't really know. I don't really know. It's just, I mean, I haven't before this fight. I didn't have that big of a name in boxing. I didn't have that big of a name in boxing for anyone to to think that anyone would put the fixing on me. And as far as the comments that the judge made, I mean, it was hard for me to believe she can judge without having bias.
Okay,
Yes.
that's a fair answer. But I have to ask you because whether I agree or not, because I haven't seen the fight yet. I know that you dropped him in the second round. I know that everybody was really upset about your loss, but I haven't seen it yet. So I'm just going to ask you questions that I'm curious about. So this one particular judge seemed to be somebody that was probably racist. But what about the other judges that also said that you lost the fight? What do you say to them, or what was going on with them, in your opinion?
That's what we saying.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't I really don't know what was going on with those two judges. Those other judges, I don't know what fight they were watching. I mean, I listened to the scores. I'm thinking maybe they put the wrong name down. But I
Yeah.
mean, judges don't. When a judge normally when judges judge, they don't have to really explain themselves. They just put their scores in. No one ever asks
Yeah.
them what were you looking at. That the rest of the whole venue and everybody on TV didn't see.
Yeah. That's what I said. People with eyes know that you won the fight. If you have two eyes, you know that he won. So I don't know what the hell they were thinking. And I just think it was all like shady under the table. If she's shady enough to, put all of this stuff on social media and not remove it, why wouldn't she go as far as with her hatred against the Black community? Why wouldn't she go as far as to slip the other two judges money? You know?
So
It's
since
hearsay. Obviously, it's not the truth. I mean, because I
sure,
don't
yeah,
know.
sure, and everything,
But
yeah, absolutely, everything is speculation, hearsay,
mhm,
absolutely. But we do have all of our own opinions, and that's okay. This is why we're
yeah,
here. But I have to ask you too. So I was trying to like read up before, honestly, before the interview, because like I said, I was out of the country. So were you called as a last minute replacement?
Yes. I was on backup for the entire card in case anyone tested positive for COVID.
Okay.
Yeah, it just so happened they got Cody Crawley. He had gotten sick. I actually talked to him. He's actually doing better now. But
That's
um,
good.
so it was about. I was getting ready for two. I was preparing myself to fight already, but on like about 11 days away from the fight. So I guess that's about a week and a half. Um, they called and said that you're gonna fill in and you're gonna fight Maestre. So I had 11 days to exclusively prepare for him and give he had my full attention for those 11 days. But yeah, I was the backup, and I think part of it too is that no one expected me to come in and do what I did. No one expected me to do what I did.
Sure. Yeah.
So
Yeah. If you're B side, they don't. Yeah.
yeah, so if they already had it in their mind who they wanted to win, I came up, I came in and just flipped everything on its head.
School them.
No, I mean, I think that's fabulous. Like I said,
Oh,
I'm
geez.
unable to comment, but I love your confidence. I love your attitude. I love that you were like, I'm going to go in there and do what I do. And so what is your record right now for people that don't know? What is your record before the fight?
My record before the fight, I was 22-2, as a welterweight.
Awesome. No, that's a great record. And so what do you think is going to happen from here on out? Are they going to overturn the decision? Is there something going on that we don't know about?
Would you give a rematch, or would would you want a rematch?
Fuck that rematch.
I was they ordered a rematch, but with the WBA, they're like getting rid of certain belts. Like the board of box commissions told them they needed to get rid of some of their belts to stop confusing the public. So that was one of the belts they got rid of. So they stripped Maestre, but with that belt not being on the line, I mean it doesn't make sense for a rematch.
Absolutely not. Yeah.
We've sent letters to the other people, and not just myself. I sent a letter to the Minnesota Commission to have the fight overturned to a no contest.
Yep.
But, no one's responded yet, and
okay.
So now the ball's in their court. The ball's in their court. We got to see what the Minnesota Commission will do. But we did everything we could on our end. If it doesn't, if anything doesn't shake out, I'll be 22-3 unfairly. But that's gonna be what happens.
You hear that, everyone out there? We got to fight to get this shit overturned.
Okay.
Because it needs to go to him.
So question, let's say that they don't overturn, but they say, you know what, let's run this back again. If you won clearly the first time, let's do it again. What say you about that?
I mean, as a competitor, yeah, I would probably fight him again, but I would want, I would want more money. I would want more money. It has to be worth
Absolutely.
something. It has to be worth something to get to fight him again. I feel as though I already beat him very, very clearly. And so if a bigger opportunity arises, I'll take that. I am a prize fighter. I'll just take that. But fighting him again would be just at this point would just be for revenge sake. There's nothing really to gain from it now.
Right.
Yeah.
I just want to say I live in Mexico, so we get some fights and some fights we just can't watch down here. But I've seen so many clips of you. I didn't know you had 11 days to prepare. But I've been in boxing for so long, and there's the fighters that you can call them tomorrow, and they're always ready. And your stamina, your combinations, like it just seemed like you were in the camp, because you looked in all the clips I saw. You just looked on point. So I want to know how 11 days leading up to your fight, like what was your training? Were you sparring, or are you just always in the gym? Because it looks like that. It looks like you're disciplined.
Yeah, I'm always in the gym. Like I said, I have been preparing for the card as a backup. So even as a backup, you're training like just in case. You don't wish for anybody to get sick or anything. But
right.
If the opportunity arises, you have to seize it. But I had gotten so much good sparring from guys, George Rincon, Trayvon
George,
Marshall,
that's the guy.
yeah, Anthony Peterson. you know, a lot of guys were getting ready for fights at the time, so everybody was trying to spar. Also, Eric Walker, he came up from Louisiana, so I got so much good sparring. It was like, and then when I got the news I was going to fight for that title, you know, that was just an extra spark, extra boost, you know, to finish out those 11 days strong.
You know, and you're the face of be ready so you don't have to get ready.
Yeah,
You know,
we,
it's what
Mm-hmm.
it sounds like to me.
yeah. Our motto is we train for opportunities, not events. So even if there's nothing on the
Nice.
calendar, you know, we're always in the gym.
Absolutely.
Wow, nice.
Great
I
Yeah.
love
motto.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and Mighty Max boxing. I am related to Alonte Fox. He's my older brother. Just so you know.
Oh.
Oh, you saw that.
Okay.
Okay. Okay,
Yeah, I
good.
saw the comment down there.
Yeah.
Nice, nice, nice. Absolutely. So my thing is, um, you have come all this way. You have so many fights behind you. You fought this guy. The decision was BS according to so many people. Where do you go from here? What's your next move?
I mean, well, the next move. I mean, we're waiting for, you know, the final word from Minnesota. But I mean, we're looking at the potential opportunities to get back in the ring. I definitely want to fight one more time before the year is up. Um, that seems realistic. And we just wait on the next opportunity, and we just could look to take full advantage of it. Take advantage of, you know, the fallout from this, and let it catapult me into the next opportunity, and then, you know, and be a fit victorious, and be victorious in the next opportunity, just so we can keep moving forward.
Absolutely. I love that attitude.
But
So
you know what?
Tracy,
Sometimes these losses, because yeah, the judges and there's paperwork that says you win or lose, but it's the audience and it's the public and the boxing fans that really hold you as the winner, and
absolutely.
that just, like you said, it just catapults you. And I think your next fight, there's gonna be so many more people rooting for you. There's gonna be, twice as many people, and it's definitely the start of something else for you.
Oh,
Yeah, and
he's
I definitely have to win. I definitely got to look good in my next outing. That's one thing I do know.
No, absolutely. And, you know, I'm so glad that Tracy had come in and told us about what was going on with you and rallied for you. I mean, that's awesome. You know, that's boxing love. And we all love boxing. So I just really kudos to her for that.
One more question for you, Michael, for me at least. I've been in boxing so long, and there's moments where I love the sport, and then there's moments where I fucking hate it, and I go back and forth with it. Was this one of those moments where it did, it hurt you, or was it just a moment like, I learned from it and I move on?
Oh no, it definitely hurt. If you ask anybody, you can ask any of my teammates or anybody from the area I'm from, they'll tell you how much I put into this sport. Like, and this was like one of those moments where I felt like, I gave this sport my heart, and in return I got a middle finger. So, but
We've all been there.
and despite that, I still want to fight. It's like a very, very toxic, abusive relationship with boxing.
Yeah,
It is.
it's a love-hate relationship for sure. So Lee Gross has a question. He said, from what happened, against Maestre, if you had to fight him again, would you change your game plan or would you stick to the same plan because you know that you won the first time?
Well, no, like, in any in a victory or in defeat, you have to learn and grow. So, but the big if I was to go into a second fight, biggest thing is I could dedicate an entire training camp to him. It was things I saw in those 11 days that and I worked on this stuff that I figured would be effective against him. But now
Love that.
the biggest difference is I would have more time to I would have more time just to prepare exclusively for him. Like, he got me on 11 days notice. Now he has my full attention, and you see he could barely hang then. So anything, I probably watch that fight, watch old fights and everything, and just be better prepared. Just be better prepared for him.
I love that answer. I love
Just
it.
as much as it hurt you, in some way, Maestre has to be affected mentally, because the comments, the people, kind of like, how can you be proud to have your hand held high when you personally know and the public knows you didn't win that fight? Like, that's just, that's just not a way to win. And I'm sure he feels probably just as bad or worse than you do because he's facing all the backlash and he's facing all that stuff. And it's just, it was a lose-lose for him.
Yeah. Truly, he's facing the backlash just because I mean, if he was, he reaped the benefits regardless of if he knew there was some type of fiction or not. He reaps the benefits. So that's always going to sit with him. He's not. I mean, if he's any type of competitor, if he's any real competitor, he'll know in his heart that he would come into that second fight with something to prove as well.
That's true.
Yeah,
that's so true.
Yeah, everyone
and
came
Tracy,
together.
You had logged off for a second, but I was like,
my phone died.
Giving you total
I'm like, I set up the interview on my phone.
Giving you total props for bringing this to our attention so we could talk about it, like more attention, because we need to do things like this. Boxing is not fair, and we know that,
But this shit won't be tolerated. Nope.
No, absolutely not. So Mighty Max said, how did you mentally recover from this robbery? Was it a tough process, or did the fans make it easier? What do you say about that, Michael?
To be mentally recovering. I mean, it was kind of easy. Like after the because I let out, like once I got back to the locker room, I let out my emotions. I was upset and everything. And we talked. My dad, my brother talked to me and everything. But the biggest thing was after the broadcast ended, Lennox Lewis and Joe Goosen sent somebody to find me, and I talked to them. And as accredited as those guys are, they were singing my praises and just telling me, man, you won that fight. Don't let nobody tell you otherwise. And that kind of definitely brought the spark back that night. I knew. And besides that, I knew what I did in that ring. Like it was nothing nobody could say. I knew what I did in that ring, and hearing the crowd boo and show their disapproval, it reaffirmed what I already knew. And all I need, really, I needed the judges to reaffirm what I already knew. But they had their own opinions of the fight.
And the thing is like judges are human, and it's sometimes they have their own interests or somebody else's interests in mind, and it sucks. It happens everywhere in the amateurs, in the Olympics, in the pro, and it sucks because boxing is boxing, and the winner should be the winner. So it definitely sucks. Boxing historian says Women Crushing It Wednesday, home of women's boxing talk. Absolutely. We're the only ones doing this, and we're going to keep doing this. All women panel. Absolutely.
Yeah.
But we talk about it all.
Yeah. I just think that this has to stop. And it's just everyone, once the tweets came out about her racist profile, everyone, first of all, they already had bonded together, or we had all bonded together that you won the fight. And then when that stuff came out, then it was a whole new bonding. It was whole new. And I was like, this is insane, because I have been fighting against racism for a long time, and since Trayvon Martin, and it's just, I was in tears, especially when you DM'd me, and I was like, and I saw a tweet that you said that you felt like you didn't, when you had already lost the fight without even being in the ring yet. And that had me sobbing. I was like, I can't, like, no, like we're fighting this. I don't give a shit. People are like, some people had DM'd me saying, you know what, it is what it is. No, it's not. Fuck that. It's not what it is. It is not. Like, this has to change. Like, period. That's it. And I'm like, damn it, if I will not retweet the shit out of things, I will just do whatever I have to do and just keep this going to get this woman out of there, to say this shit is tolerated. Like, something has to be done. Give him the belt. Don't there was talks of the another fight and against him. Like, no, No, no. Strip it from him and give it to who it belongs to, because that bitch fucked up, and get her out of there. Oh, it's just, it makes me so angry thinking about it. It's just unbelievable. And I don't know how you, as a black man, I can't even imagine how it made you feel. And I'm trying not to cry. I'm sorry. But it's just, I get very passionate about it, and we will just keep on fighting so you get your shit, you get what you deserve. And I really think that, and I said this to you, Mykal, I said, I really think that you are now the face of change.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Really, none of this really. If it wasn't for you retweeted, you said somebody actually found it, and you retweeted his and or
It was,
hers.
his name is Derek Jablonski,
Yeah,
and he
yeah.
he had tweeted it, and the timeline is correct, where he was the first one, because he felt he was upset with your loss. And so he decided to go and look up who the judges were. And the first judge that he decided to look up was Gloria, and look up on her Twitter. And then that's when he found out. He said, like, how, if she still thinks Trump is president, how can she even be accurate as a judge? And then I dug deeper, and then that's when I found all the racist things. And then it just went from there.
Yeah, well, if it wasn't for y'all, I would have just been the next person that just got robbed in boxing. It would have been this, then the next week would have went by, some other fights would have happened. But I mean,
Absolutely.
y'all, this thing kind of, because of y'all, it grew, and it was talked about on ESPN, it was talked about on the Zone, it's been talked about on all the major broadcasts for boxing.
Love it.
Yep.
So people are still hearing it, and it put pressure on the WBA, and they put pressure on Minnesota to actually do something about it. Yeah, so that it doesn't happen to me or to any other fighters again. I mean, boxing is a minority dominant sport.
Yes.
So we can't have judges.
Love it.
We can't have judges that are prejudiced judging any fighter.
Absolutely.
Salute Tracy, and salute to everybody that joined in on that. Like, seriously, like we have to make changes, most definitely. Lee Groves, you are cordially invited next week, because you're right, we need some testosterone every now and then. So you are cordially invited next week to join the show. Absolutely. And Mighty Max Boxing, thank you for tuning in. You said you got to go, but it's cool. Absolutely. I have so Mykal, I hope that you join us, because we have a few topics before we head out, and I hope that you stay with us because I want to pick your brain a little bit. But first, hold on. Ohio Runs Boxing, that's my guy. Let me see. If Mykal Fox would have fought somebody from Ohio, he would have lost clearly instead of being robbed. LOL. Now, but all the jokes aside, he won the fight because he's Ohio Run Boxing, so he's got to say that.
Got to toss that in.
Yeah, no, I know that.
Who's in Ohio? No, I'm just joking.
Ohio Runs Boxing. Hey, let Ohio Runs Boxing know that it's some fighters from Ohio that are part of the long list of fighters that didn't want to take a fight with me, since he wants to talk like that.
Oh, you hear that?
Yeah.
Now what? Lee Groves said he gladly accepts. Good. I will be in contact. But let me ask you something. So, Mykal, this is the thing. So we were talking about Vergil Ortiz earlier, and we were talking about him against Bud Crawford. But the thing is, Errol, Ugas, and Bud are the only ones that hold the belts. So he would benefit from fighting any one of these guys. What would they benefit from fighting him?
Really, it's not much. It's not much for them to benefit. I think they're all at a higher, just at a higher plateau in boxing right now, where I mean, Virgil's young, he's on the rise, and I mean, just beating him. It's not really. It's expected that they beat him. It's really expected that they beat him. If they were to do odds for, I think, any of those guys, maybe I think Ugas might have the closest odds in fighting him just because he has losses and everything. But you know, Vergil Ortiz would be an underdog against all. I think he'd be an underdog against all those guys. So there's nothing really to gain from just really you're risking everything you worked for.
Facts.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Facts. Absolutely. So this weekend, I didn't get to watch Josh Franco's fight. Did anybody watch that fight?
I did.
You did?
Yeah.
I kept zoning out.
Okay. So I love Josh. He's from Texas. I'm from Texas. I love his brother Bam. But they're saying that he's in line to fight the winner, the trilogy of El Gallo y Chocolatito.
And this,
So is he ready for that? I'm gonna go around the table. Esmeralda, what do you think? Is he ready for this fight? For the winner of those two?
For Chocolatito, yeah. For Estrada, he's not ready. I mean, I think Estrada just is a little stronger than Chocolatito, and I think he would give him some trouble. But I also expected Franco. If I was going back into that trilogy, I would have came with so much more aggression and power and anger, just put it all in the ring. And I didn't get that from them on this trilogy. I was expecting so much more, and I didn't get that. And it was kind of disappointing. It was like, okay.
Okay.
Not a memorable trilogy for me, at least.
Okay, yeah. Because honestly, I thought that Chocolatito won the last one. But
we'll agree to disagree, Christine. I'm just
okay,
playing.
but even though I mean I'm Mexican, but I'm just saying, I really thought that. Tracy, what do you think? I mean,
I'm not Latino at all.
Right, so you can say whatever. You're not biased.
I'm Sicilian.
So,
you know what?
do you think Josh is ready for any of those two guys, El Gallo or Chocolatito?
No, no, not at all. I don't think so. I so the two Joshes, not two Joshes. Ay, Dios mío. And I'm Italian. I don't know why. I don't. I only know a lot of swear words, so I won't even say anything.
You're good, girl.
Oh God. So the who was it that fought Greer? The two brothers
I did not
fought.
See that fight.
That was Andrew Maloney.
Yeah. Yes.
So you know what? You were talking about Chocolatito and Estrada, and I was looking.
That was on a different channel. Yeah.
I know. I was looking
like
at the
3
chat.
major fights last weekend. Yeah.
I know. I was looking at the chat, and because there's a question for Mykal, so I got just. I don't. What was your question, Christina? I'm sorry.
No, I was just wondering. Do you think that Josh is ready for El Gallo or Chocolatito? Because whoever wins out of that, that's going to be his mandatory.
Oh yeah, I don't think so. I don't think he's ready. I don't think so. I'd like to see a couple more fights. But I mean, who am I to say if he's ready? Does he feel he's ready? If he feels he's ready, do it. Like someone had said in the chat, you know what? Why wait at this point? And it is okay to have a loss on your record. It's okay. It really is.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Some of the greats have losses, not
yes,
absolutely.
Absolutely.
So I think that that mindset needs to. I think it's important to try and change that and
yes,
and be okay with it, because the more you fight, the more experience you get, the more just the more everything, when you sit back and you just wait and you wait and you wait for the perfect opponent, you wait for the whatever
or the right moment.
But it has a lot to do with the promoters and all that shit too.
It's about risks.
Yeah. Fuck it. Take the risk. Do it.
Mykal, what do you think? I mean, did you get to watch the Josh Franco fight?
Yeah, I did. I watched the fight, and after I answer this question, I unfortunately have to leave you guys. But what I will say about the fight is, Josh Franco looked good. I mean, he applied pressure towards the middle of the fight, and it broke Maloney down. I mean, is he ready? I mean, is he ready? I can't really say yay or nay. I haven't watched a lot. I didn't really watch a lot of Estrada and Cockapito and everything, but I mean, it doesn't really matter. You hold one of the belts, and you've been ordered to fight those guys. Either you fight them, or and maybe fight for for the biggest amount of money you can, and for some legacy and bragging rights, or you let that opportunity pass you up because.
Absolutely.
But I know I know Franco's with a good team though. Franco has a good team and the Garcia Boxing Academy and everything. So you know, if he can pull it off, he's with the right people to do it.
So, Mykal, I know you got to go. So leave us with some words. Where can we follow you? Where can we rally for you so this judgment can be overturned? Let's build a fan base. Where are you at?
Yeah.
What are you doing? Talk to us.
Everybody can follow me on IG and Twitter at Professor Mike. Mike with a Y, not an I. And I'm on social media. I'm very active, especially on fight nights and everything. But I'm active on there, watching a little TV series, whatever. But thank you to everybody. Like I said, to all of you, especially thanks to Tracy, thanks to Derek Jablonski, thanks to everybody who started this and who fought for me after the final bell ended. I'm grateful to everybody that's reached out. I'm grateful to everybody who's voiced their disapproval. And if it weren't for y'all, we wouldn't have any leverage. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much for joining us.
It's a pleasure. It was an absolute pleasure. We're going to still fight for you.
Thank you, ladies.
Yes, you have a great night.
Thank you so much.
Y'all all did the same. Thanks for having me on the show too.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Again. Thank you.
Peace out. Bye.
Peace.
Okay, so we're gonna wrap it up too, but I want y'all to give your final thoughts, final words. Tracy, we're gonna start with you.
Damn it, I'm still emotional.
I know, and it's good. We need emotional.
I get so passionate about fighting for it. I just it gets to me. So sorry, Rachel, that we didn't get would you still want to be the WBA champion? Sorry, we didn't get to that one. I don't know
that too.
Yeah, I don't know if you would or not, but I can't answer for him.
We'll have him on again. So you can answer.
And we'll talk about it. And we'll ask that question. But I'm thankful that that this happened. And I had said to him that everything happens for a reason. And so when you ladies see the fight, Christine, when you see the fight, you'll see and you'll understand, what's going on and everything. And that he clearly won. So I think that he's going to be forever known as the face of change. And that's what I told him. I said, and we're just going to keep fighting. And so this doesn't happen again. And it's just such a, everyone came together for this. And like he said, like people were reaching out to him and saying, this is not, this wasn't right. This isn't good. This isn't we're not going to tolerate racism, all that stuff. And so it's just rather epic. It's rather epic because it's just, I have so many words to say, and I just can't seem to get them out because.
And I love that you're passionate. We have to keep going and be passionate about the things that move us because that's how we make change. And look, he even gave you credit and the young man. And I mean, that's what we have to keep doing. Whatever we believe in, we have to keep pushing. Absolutely. Yeah. So credit to you, and I appreciate that so very much. I really
Thank
do.
You.
So Esmeralda, Long Live Boxing is poking at you. What's he saying, girl? What you got to say about that?
So no, I remember when me and Weta watched the fight, and they called out the winner. We were like, what? And I do agree. Choco, like they thought they deserve it, but I'm still I mean, that just gives me more ammo. I'll come back and want to fight him again. Like, hey, I did deserve it maybe, and I'll take it on the third, fourth time, whatever. But he did. He personally, he did. He deserved it on that last one. But Tracy, no, thank you for being the voice and like shining the light on it, because what sucks is sometimes somebody has to be made the example and somebody has to take the loss for the team so that the next fighter or the next person,
yes,
Yeah,
you know,
and that's he will.
I mean, I think I heard or read she was suspended. Whatever the case is, though, it just shined light on it, and that's what was
Indefinitely
needed.
suspended, so she's will no longer judge, if I'm not mistaken. I can't imagine at this point that she would. Can you imagine a fighter walking in and seeing her there and being like, "Nope, I'm out. No,
Well, I think
no."
it's just not safe for her to be
It
seen
it is, yeah.
outside, period, because the world we're in nowadays where people are so vocal and, there's protests, there's rallies, there's all these things, like she's just it's gonna be bad for her. But I had never really, seeing Michael and his responses, and I just want to say he seems like a very good guy, and he great sportsmanship, amazing sportsmanship.
Absolutely.
And
yeah.
like I said, he took the loss, but Maestre is dealing probably with, whether it's depression or whatever, he's dealing with so much of the effect, and you really can't hold your head up high or have the pride, to call yourself the winner after a fight like that. Especially when
Absolutely.
everybody sees it so differently.
Absolutely.
But if that was the case, I do hope that this loss that he took sets forth moving forward so much more for everybody else to have a clear opportunity and be able to actually show their skills rather than lose the fight as soon as the fight is done, as soon as it's done on paper.
And saying that this will not be tolerated. And that's what everyone rallied to do. And I wanted to try and get Derek on here to speak as well, but he's younger and he said
It's
he's
okay.
a little nervous. So I was like,
Okay.
that's fine. And I saw some other people trying to on Twitter like take the credit and the stuff, and I said, nope, you're not going to get the credit for this. This news was broken by this young man, and that's all there is to it. And then when I saw it, that's when I dug deeper. And then we just, I'm not trying to give myself any credit at all. It is this young man who decided to look on this woman's timeline, and it just happened to be out of the three, he chose her first, and then went through the the timeline, and then it just went from there. And
it happened the way it was supposed to, and kudos
that's what
to
everything happens
absolutely.
Yeah, everything happens for a reason. That's what I told Michael. I said this was meant to happen to open the eyes and open the doors and get rid of the toxic people that are in boxing. And I think the WBA, with the 2 stripping of the belts this week, they're trying to cause in my eyes, trying to cause a distraction, and that isn't going to work. So
no,
they strip.
absolutely.
It's the WBA, it's WBC, it's so many organizations.
Anytime there's money involved, and personal interest, this is what happens.
It goes way back.
The sport that we love, the sport that we hate. It is what it is.
It made my heart hurt when he said, if you ask anybody where I'm from, like, they know how much I put into the sport. And then, it gives me the middle finger. And I was like, I felt that, because there's been so many times with boxing personally, or, when it just, when I watch it, there's times where it breaks your heart so bad. And it's a toxic relationship. So it's not love and hate, it's just toxic, because most of the time.
Okay, that's great. Toxic.
Yeah.
I can roll with that. Toxic.
This woman's tweets were toxic.
So my closing words are: we didn't get to Rigo's sprint that he did last weekend, but we all know he was running
the Running Man contest.
It is what it is. It is what it is. But I just want to say that we do not tolerate any kind of abuse. Sexual, racial, verbal, emotional, whatever. We don't tolerate it. You know, sometimes we get caught up in arguments and people throw mud or whatever and say what they say. We're going to ignore you. We're going to dodge that shit. We're going to ignore you. We're going to move forward because you know what? We're winning. And we don't have time to feed that negative energy because there's nothing but positive vibes around us. I stand behind all my girls on this show. God picked them. I didn't pick them. God put them in the midst for this show. And this show is doing great. And we're going to keep going. We're going to keep going. We're going to keep doing great. And we have no time or tolerance for all that. I do want to say that for photographers like my girl Esmeralda and my girl Stacy Schneider, nobody knows how hard they work taking pictures and then editing them afterwards. Hours and hours of work. First of all, you got to get the credential, then you got to go and like edit them and put them out for you all. And for not to give them credit, that's a no. And give
not everyone
photographers credit. Esme, talk about
not
it.
everyone has the same eye for what you're seeing in the fight. So the photographer that catches a moment that everyone can relate or everyone is like, oh, that's a great moment, it's few and far between. So giving them credit is just the most necessary thing. I mean, it's
absolutely
all you gotta do is
that's their job, guys. That's their job. Hello. We all want to get paid for our job. Don't do them. But I want to end with this. So my girl, Tiara Brown, our girl, Saturday, September 25th, she's going to be fighting at Raceway, Fort Worth. MD is Maryland, right? Maryland? Okay.
Yes.
And you can get tickets on eventbrite.com. Support my girl, support women's boxing, support women in boxing, photographers, reporters, cut women, coaches, whatever, support women in boxing.
And with that,
just do it.
If you guys have not seen Christy Martin's documentary,
oh, I'm watching.
It Friday. Is so
I
good.
Love her.
It is.
Okay.
It is extremely good documentary.
Thank you for bringing that up. Thank you for bringing that up because I'm definitely going to watch it Friday with my man. We have nothing to do for that day, and I want to see it so bad. And I love her. She's amazing. She's a pioneer.
Absolutely.
She and Ann Wolf are my favorites. They are. It is what it is. Yes.
And throw in Lucia Riker. I like her.
Throw who?
Well,
Lucia
my
Riker.
girl knocked her out.
Right. Shoe shine in the house, and he said he has serious camera envy when I saw Stacy's cam.
Yeah, I was like, wait, what? Okay.
And I think Stacy's
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, she hit that.
I love her style because she shoots.
Oh, Christina Poncher, yes. Shout out to Christina Poncher and Michaela Miller.
And Michaela, yeah, for the broadcast team.
They did great.
ESPN Knockout also had women commentators for the last 2 weekends. So, and one of them,
Women for the win.
We're moving
Thank y'all
on.
so much. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. Tracy, where can people find you? Esmeralda, you're next, and then me. Let's go. Tracy, where can people find you and follow you?
Girl 1970 and on Twitter and on Instagram. Right underneath my name, Boxer Girl 1970. That's me.
Esmeralda, where can people find you?
You can find me on the West Coast, though. You can find me on Twitter as me Ferraro, and thank you, Tracy, on Instagram under Fotógrafa de la Gente, the people's photographer.
And everybody, in the ring with Christine, follow, share, and like. We'll have our girl Nancy and Nika next week, and tune in. And we'll have Lee Groves, our special guest.
That'll be dope.
Peace, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Oh, wait, Tracy, where do they need to go after this?
Oh, after this, actually they're starting right now. Go over to Calyx Boxing to the Heavy Hitters.
Instagram?
The HCP crew. No, on YouTube.
Oh.
I don't
Tune
have
in.
I don't have the link.
They can find it. Calix
Yeah,
Boxing,
just look
yeah.
up Calix, Calix Boxing, and Heavy Hitters, part of the HCP crew. So get on over there, watch it. It's good shit, man. It's good shit.
Yes, absolutely. Good night, guys. Love y'all.
Peace out, guys.